Today's world, it's common to see both partners in a household working full-time jobs. Many believe that two incomes should make life easier, providing more financial security and a higher standard of living. But what if this isn't the whole story? In this video, we'll explore how the rise of dual-income households, which was meant to empower families, may have actually contributed to making the middle class poorer over time. Let's dive into the history, the numbers, and the hidden consequences behind this shift. Decades ago, most middle-class families relied on a single income, usually from the primary breadwinner. The other partner, often the wife, managed the household and children. Despite living on one paycheck, many families could afford a home, a car, and even save for the future. This setup provided a safety net. If one person lost their job, the other could potentially step in. But as times changed, so did expectations and economic realities. In the late 20th century, more women entered the workforce and dual-income households became the norm. This change was celebrated as a sign of progress and equality. Families now had more money coming in, which should have meant more comfort and security. However, this shift also led to new pressures and expectations, both financially and socially, that would reshape the middle class in unexpected ways. As more households began earning two paychecks, the cost of living started to rise. Housing prices in particular soared as families with more income could afford to bid higher for homes. This competition drove up prices for everyone, making it harder for single-income families to keep up. The same pattern appeared in education, healthcare, and childcare, where costs outpaced wage growth. With both adults working, families lost the cushion that a stay-at-home partner once provided. If one person lost their job or fell ill, there was no backup income. Instead of having a safety net, families now faced the risk of losing their entire household income at once. This increased financial vulnerability, making the middle class more fragile than before. With both parents working, families needed to find reliable childcare. This became a major new expense, often costing thousands of dollars a year. For many, the second income was largely eaten up by childcare costs, leaving little extra money for savings or leisure. The pressure to balance work and family life also led to increased stress and less time together. As dual-income families competed for the best schools and neighborhoods, the cost of education and related expenses climbed. Private schools, tutoring, and extracurricular activities became more common, putting additional financial strain on families. What was once a manageable expense for a single-income household became a significant burden, even with two paychecks. Healthcare is another area where costs have soared. With both adults working, families often needed to pay for additional health insurance or out-of-pocket care. The stress of managing work and family life also contributed to health problems, leading to more medical bills. For many, the second income was quickly absorbed by these rising expenses. When families earn more, they often spend more. This phenomenon, known as lifestyle inflation, means that as incomes rise, so do expectations for homes, cars, vacations, and gadgets. Instead of saving the extra income, many households upgraded their lifestyles, leaving them with little to no financial cushion when emergencies struck. With more families having two incomes, competition for desirable goods and services intensified. From housing to education, prices were driven up by families willing to spend more. This made it harder for those with only one income or lower incomes to keep up, widening the gap between the middle class and those at the top. To maintain their new lifestyles, many families turned to borrowing. Credit cards, mortgages, and student loans became common tools to bridge the gap between income and expenses. Over time, this led to higher levels of household debt, making families even more vulnerable to economic downturns or job losses. Juggling two full-time jobs and family responsibilities is no easy feat. Many dual-income households struggle to find a healthy work-life balance. The stress of managing careers, children, and household chores can take a toll on relationships and overall well-being, sometimes leading to burnout or health issues. On the surface, having two incomes appears to be a sign of progress and prosperity. However, when you look closer, it becomes clear that much of the extra money is absorbed by higher costs and new expenses. The middle class may be working harder than ever, but they're not necessarily getting ahead. The result of these changes is what many call the middle class squeeze. Families are caught between rising costs and stagnant wages, with little room to save or invest for the future. Even with two incomes, many struggle to afford basic necessities, let alone enjoy the comforts that were once taken for granted. Children in dual-income families often experience the effects of their parents' busy schedules. With less time at home, kids may spend more hours in daycare or after-school programs. While these services can be beneficial, they also add to the family's expenses and can impact the quality of family life. Despite working harder, many middle-class families find it difficult to build long-term financial security. Savings rates are low, and retirement planning often takes a backseat to immediate expenses. The dream of upward mobility is slipping further out of reach for many, even as they put in more hours at work. Society now expects both partners to work, and families often feel pressure to keep up with their peers. This can lead to a cycle of overwork and overspending as people strive to meet ever-rising standards. The pressure to have it all can be exhausting and unsustainable for many households. While dual incomes have helped promote gender equality in the workplace, they have also introduced new challenges. Women, in particular, often face the double burden of working outside the home while still managing most household duties. This paradox highlights the need for more support and fair division of labor at home. Addressing the challenges of dual-income households requires thoughtful policies. Solutions like affordable childcare, paid family leave, and better healthcare can help ease the burden. Encouraging flexible work arrangements and supporting work-life balance are also key steps toward a healthier, more secure middle class. Perhaps it's time to rethink what success means for the middle class. Instead of focusing solely on income, families might benefit from prioritizing well-being, time together, and financial security. By redefining success, we can create a society where families thrive, not just survive. Move to two incomes was meant to empower families and improve their lives. But as we've seen, it also brought new challenges and made the middle class more vulnerable in many ways. By understanding these dynamics, we can start to find better solutions and build a more secure future for everyone. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the double income trap.